Welcome back. Hopefully the audio is good. And today we're going to be talking about WeatherKit. So it's not going to be like live coding, but I'm going to go walk through the code and the process of getting it set up properly. Because there's a couple of things you need to do before you actually start coding. So step one, get started with WeatherKit. To use WeatherKit, you need an Apple developer account. So that is one requirement, and that's $100 a year. After that, you can have the availability and pricing right here, and you get WeatherKit provides up to 500,000 API calls a month per developer program membership. If you want more than that, they have a priced, system here. You can get a whole bunch, lots of millions of requests. So that's number one. That's the first one. You can just go, developer.apple.com/weatherkit/get-started. So that's where you find out that information. Next off, you want to go to Apple's, just Apple developer or developer.apple.com, whichever it is, and scroll down to the bottom. And you want to go into under the certificates, IDs, and profiles down here at the very bottom under account. After you do that, you want to go to, certificates and IDs, mark that. You want to go to the identifiers. And from there, you can either add an identifier or there's a little search button here and you can search for one you've already created. And I already created this one. Again, if you didn't, you gotta go through the process, create one. Once you do that, you need to come in here and under capabilities and under app services, you gotta do both. So start out with capabilities, scroll all the way down. I'll show you in a second. So you scroll all the way down until you see WeatherKit. You gotta check the box there. Then you gotta go under app services and scroll all the way down. And I don't think it has the icon, but you see WeatherKit, check the box. So that has to be checked on both the capabilities and app services. So once you've done all that, then you're done with this part and it's time to open up Xcode, and you got to do a few more things and then you can start coding. So let's open up Xcode. Go over here. And you want to go to your bundle identifier and make sure it matches the one you created on App Store Connect. And then with your target selected, you go Command-Shift-L and you just go WEA, look for weather, double click on it or press enter. Maybe, why didn't it get added? Oops, that's not what I wanted. So Command-Shift-L, weather, enter. Why are we not getting it? That's not good. That's what I want. Oh, there it is. Sorry, maybe I didn't see it. Going blind. Anyway, WeatherKit now shows up. Your identifier matches. You should be now good to code at this point. And you can come to we can close this down. We can close this down. Go to our content view, which is now filled with a whole bunch of stuff. Option, Command, Enter. Get our preview back up. And refresh it like so. Might take a second. And there you go. This is your weather app. So you've got scrolling. Come on. There it goes. Scrolls this way. For a lot of hours. I think I just let it to the default. And we also got the nice colors. So we got the moon. We got the SF symbols are provided by the WeatherKit API calls, which is really nice. I just set them to get the color. And oh boy, this is really sluggy. Go all the way back to the beginning. The now you don't get, at least I don't think so. I'll show you how we got that. And then the today, and then has all the days down here. So got your 10-day forecast. You got all your nice icons. I did not code these properly, but the rest of this stuff is real data. So let's walk through the code. Comments, do we want to look at the view code first or the model code? Because that's really all there is in this. I made a content view and I made a weather model view. but I guess we'll go through the view code. So again, I'm just putting this in content view. This is not amazing. And I'll look at this and see what I can remember. I made this a few days ago, even though I do think this looks a little better in dark mode. That looks nice. Anywho, first thing, we create a state object. And that just means that content view is what's initializing our weather view model. And it's a private variable, and we're just going to call it weather view model, kind of like the name of the actual class. And then in here, I created a Z-stack because I have this gradient here from like a blue to a orange, I guess. And then on top of that, I've got a scroll view. So open up our Z-stack. Don't think we have any modifiers. Nothing to the preview we needed to mess with, nothing like that. And our first thing is our linear gradient. So it's blue. I added blue twice, I guess, kind of making it mostly blue, and then the gradient down on the bottom a little less, and then orange. And then I just set the top and bottom for the start and end points. And then I told it to ignore edges safe area dot vertical. So pretty simple. And then inside of our Z-stack, we have a scroll view. Show indicators is false, so that just means when you scroll, because this thing does not scroll very well, it doesn't show the indicator when you scroll. Then we have our VStack, and there's some hard coding in here. A couple reasons. I was messing around with the WeatherKit API. I didn't want to put in a whole bunch of stuff. So I put in Seattle, and I'll show you why that's hard coded to Seattle when we get to the view model. Basically, because the latitude and longitude I picked. We set some spacing here, but I don't know if that's terribly important. And then we get this weather view model dot current temperature. And then the reason I did drop last is because I believe, because I think it put the uppercase F, or if you're getting it in Celsius, I'll put the uppercase C. And I didn't mess with it too much to probably do a better job. So here we're just getting the high of 53 degrees symbol and the low of 38 degrees symbol. And then just font and system size. Current temperature. Oh no, that's 72. That's this one right here, 72. That's the big one. And then we have the weather current condition. So that's getting that too from the API. Like all this is from the API. It's really good. And then we're getting the daily high and low, and that's where we get this property. So pretty good. Simple little VStack. Probably could have been cut out into its own view, that whole chunk there. If I was like building this, I'd probably also build the scroll view out in a separate view. But again, this is just me messing around with the weather API. Then next we get a VStack here, and we're setting a regular material and a rounded rectangle corner radius. So this is the background in, what is it? That's how you kind of like mask it. Background, does it say in shape? So you can pass in a shape to kind of style shape, an instance of a type that conform. Anyway, you can look over this. But background's pretty cool. We did that and did a regular material. You could probably also do like a ultra thin. Actually, I kind of like the ultra thin maybe more. So where's the other material I used? Do ultra thin here. Ultra. Do the ultra thin there. So it just makes it, I don't know. You play with that as much as you want. But anyway, this one had the same kind of setup basically. Where was I? Okay, so this is the horizontal scroll view here. And it's in a VStack because I put little headers here like hourly forecast. And I just used a label. This was hard coded. And then I just did the dot uppercase. And then I used a system image of clock. Set some modifiers. And then on the scroll view, we did an H stack. And then a for each. And then just set the padding for you. The for each is we're getting the hourly forecast. So this is our hourly forecast for however many hours we get from the service, which is quite a bit. I don't remember the exact number, but it'd probably be in that getting started documentation. Then we have a VStack here, and this is just our now, our condition, and all that. This is our weather.time, and we do some stuff with time to get the now and then the times. And then this is our weather SF symbol. So like I said, the weather API does give us the SF symbol names. And then I just do the symbol rendering mode and then just set multicolor, and that gets us the nice yellows, and then get the rain and blue and all that. So it's really nice. Super awesome that we get that. And then of course the temperature right here. So all that from the service. And that's that. So close that up. And then here, a similar thing. It's just a VStack. And did I do that with this one? Yeah, alignment leading. So, getting a nice alignment. Same here. Again, 10-day forecast. Just hard-coded label with a calendar. That's what that is there. And then, again, a for each. But this time, we're just have a VStack inside of our vertical scrolling view. And for the for each, we get the 10-day forecast. We're just using self as ID. And then in here, we have an H stack, so we're going along this way. And again, a lot of similar things. We're just doing weather.day, set time. We're getting that symbol again. We're using the rendering mode of multicolor. And then we have a low temperature for here. And then we have, let's see, text, weather, low temperature. We have a Z stack here. Oh, this Z stack here is just this capsule. Again, that's just some basic hard-coded stuff. I didn't do anything there. You close that up. And then you have the high temperature here, which is right there. And then I just set the color to gray for the low temperature. And that's pretty much it. Like, it's kind of straightforward, just 104 lines of code, and you got your preview code there. Honestly, if you're building out an actual weather app, you'd want to break this apart. You'd also want to do some other modifications and make it nicer, but that's our view code. Now onto the view model. This is where we're just creating we import WeatherKit, number one. Oh, there it is, 328. I made this on, oh geez, it's the 12th. Made it like 2 weeks ago, a little over 2 weeks ago. So WeatherKit, made WeatherKit, or imported WeatherKit, Apple made WeatherKit, and then imported core location. I don't think I use, oh, maybe I do. Core location, yeah. CL location stuff here. I didn't actually get any live location data. That would be something you could add to it. In the weather model, view model, I made an observable object and I used it private set. I did private set on my published properties because I don't want the view changing these properties. I just want them to be published so the view can then use them and display the information. And we just have current temperature is a string, current conditions a string, daily high-low is a string, and I just put this format for it. And then we have an hourly forecast and a 10-day forecast, and these are just two structs there, which are right here. So the hourly is a time, a symbol name, and a temperature. And the day weather is day, symbol name, low temperature, and high temperature. Really basic structs there. Scroll back up to the top, and then we have a weather service. So this just actually gets our weather. Nope, got to tap here. Option, click. Provides an interface for obtaining weather data. So this is just how we get our weather data. Then I set Seattle location. So I hard-coded this latitude and longitude, and that's why it's Seattle. Obviously, you want to pass in some more useful information here and use core location to actually get the user's current location. Or, I guess the weather app, you can set multiple locations. You might have like multiple locations, and then they've set those. So you might have an array of locations or something. But anywho. When the class gets initialized with that state object in the content view, then it just calls our fetch current weather function. You can also have this on up here instead of being initialized here, up to you. Does the same thing. And then here is where we do fetch current weather. And I'm using Task, which is part of Apple's Swift concurrency stuff, which I've not done a whole lot with. I feel more comfortable talking about combine than Swift concurrency. So I'm not going to go into detail on this, but when you write Task, you can, option click it. It's rainy outside. Sorry, got distracted. Speaking of weather, now, but anywho, and goes over it here. So you can look over it here, open up developer documentation, and then since we're doing that, we get the await key and stuff like that. We have a dispatch queue here, and we have our hourly forecast and our 10-day forecast. And here we do have a few functions. So we have this is same hour or later, and we pass in date, which is the date of the weather we're getting, and then we just pass in the current date, initialize it like that. And we'll get into this function here. I should add a documentation. No documentation. Anyway, it's a function that takes 2 dates and returns a Boolean value. And if that comes back true, then go ahead and go into here. And then we have our hour weather, and we get this appended to our hourly forecast. And we just go through each hour, loop through it, and append it to our forecast array. And this is the hours passed in. Hour formatter, another function. This function takes in a date and returns a string, because our time, our time is down here in our struct that we made. Our time, do we have time? Hourly, daily, simple, what am I looking at here? Hour weather, did I even use those? Jump to definition. Oh, I don't know. I missed that. Time is a string. Sorry. Yep. Anyway, that's why we're returning a string, because we need to use that there. Anywho, there's that. And again, the 10-day forecast does pretty similar things. It does a 10-day forecast. We don't do any conditional check. We just loop through our daily forecast that we get back from the weather, which is coming back from our weather service, which is again where we get our weather data. And let's see where we at. We loop through that for each style. Maybe I didn't cover that. Not for each. And then we just append for each one to the 10-day forecast property that we published up on line 16 there. And yeah, we have a couple other functions that I made. What's this one? So it takes in a measurement. Oh no, wait, low temperature formatted. That doesn't take in day formatter. That's the one. Day formatter takes in a date and returns a string. So, and just doing a couple of things here for formatting. And this is all wrapped in a do catch block, so we can print if any errors. Probably want to pop up an alert or something instead. And these are the functions. So we have our hour formatter, and I always forget where I look this up. I think it's like NS. Where's the internet? Let's go to the Safari. Pop open a window here. Where I get those values, I think it's NS date. No, NS time formatter. All right, I'll have to. I don't remember. Anywho, HA. Those are days. So I think it's. I'd have to look this up again. Maybe if you just Google this. Anyway, that's a string. What does HA stand for again? Totally spacing on that one. I should look that up, that website. There's a website if you look up like date formats. Let me double check. Date formats. Oh, Swift date formats. Move this thing. There was, that is nsdateformatter.com. I knew it was ns something, or yeah. So here you got format, date input, local, and you can look at an example of what it's supposed to look like and kind of this. Do they have an HA? Can you edit these? So what if I do HA and go enter? So 12 a.m. So you can see the result there. You can also do H12. Just do H is 12. Go HM 1249. So you can play around with this and you can see what you'd get. And this is just the string you'd pass into the date format right here. So this is the hour formatter. I guess that makes sense that I did HA, because if I go HA again, HA, get 12 a.m. no space. So that would look like right here, and now, and then 6 p.m., 7 p.m., and so forth. Anywho, so that's a useful site to know. Let's see, and then we do some logic here, just getting the input component and the current component for the dates. And we'll just, if input is equal to current, so if the hour is like right now it is 5:51 a.m., and you can see that now, that says now, but the next hour is 6. So if this live stream goes another 9 minutes, we can look at, and hopefully 6 p.m. says now, and 7 p.m. will be properly formatted and so forth. Anywho, because it'll say just hard-code a string of now. Otherwise, we return a properly formatted date. So that's all there is to that function there. That's for the hourly format. Is same hour or later when we have calendar. Comparison result calendar. Where did we use this? Command click. If you don't remember like command click, you can go colors like that. So this is for our hourly forecast is same. Oh, I think I used this because of when you get back the weather data, if I remember correctly. Actually, we can just test this unless I'm taking up too much time. So what we'll do is we'll just come up here to our hourly, comment that out. So right now we've got now, which is 5, and then 6, which is coming up because it's 5:52. But now let's rerun this. Oops, build failed. Command S, Command B, Command Shift K. Just go through all the keys. Command Shift J, Command Shift J, and Command R. Build succeeded. Yay. Let's see if it works this time. All right, so now we run it. And we should get, I think, a whole bunch of previous hours. So here's 11 p.m., right? 11 p.m., 12 a.m., 1 a.m. We have to scroll all the way to 5. Oh, that's 5 a.m. It's not a.m., it's p.m. now. 5. Oh, and see, now it says now. So we get all this time before now, which we don't want right now. So we want to uncomment, and then rerun that. Is same hour or later. So now we don't have anything before now. It gets the current time now and then anything past now. But anywho, and we'll just jump to that function. So we'll go here, jump to function. So it does the calendar, gets the calendar components. A component result is equal to ordered same, which, what was this? The two operands are equal, and then comparison result, order descending, the left operand is greater than the right operand. So that just makes sure that we get right now time and later, not all that previous time, because we get a whole bunch of hours from the WeatherKit. Then we have day formatter, and again we're using EEE, which do I still have? Yeah, so EEE, this is the day formatter. So yeah, so it's shortened to Thursday, or FRI for Friday and so forth. And we do this, and then again we do this function really is quite similar to our hour formatter, but we do today instead of now. So, and the format's a little different. So, but yeah, that's our formatter for that, and that's really it. These are just our structs we'd already talked about. So in 26 minutes, I did a quick walkthrough. Didn't do a tutorial. I was like, oh, I'm going to make a tutorial on this. And I do this thing where I'm like, I play around with something myself and then I post it because I'm like, oh, this is fun. And then I'm like, I'm going to make a tutorial because it was fun, right? Playing with. But then I get to it. I'm like, I don't want to make a tutorial on this because it involves editing, a whole bunch of other stuff. And I'm busy with everything else right now. So that was a hopefully quick walkthrough, and the steps in the beginning are really important, or none of this stuff will display properly. Sorry for the not awesome tutorial, but hopefully that was kind of helpful to get you started with WeatherKit, and build something fun with it. Don't have to build a weather app. Build a gardening app with weather. You get historical weather data. You get a whole bunch of stuff. So thanks for watching, and until next time, stay Swifty. I'm going to end the live stream now.